carbon level. And we are carbon-based beings. So if you want to say like cures like, okay, we're carbon-based, so we need to have a carbon-based diet and we need to feed our melanin, okay? It slows the aging process. They say black don't crack. Well, yes, it does if you don't feed your melanin. If you live in somewhere, snow and cold and gray skies, gloomy and stuff, black will crack, right? But if you feed your melanin and become a person of the sun, move down to the south and get that radiant raw power, now your black won't crack. You taking care of your melanin. So it's gonna slow the aging process. You're not gonna look 50. You're gonna look 40. You're gonna look 35, right? You're not gonna look 60, 80, 90. You're gonna look 10, 20, 30 years younger. Person might see the gray hair, but other than the gray hair, the person looks like they're 35. They 60, they're 50. Carbon level.
There was a movie last year, I think it was called They Cloned Tyrone.
Right.
Did you see it?
I saw that.
All right, cool. So, not to spoil it for anybody out there to see it, but I think this is important for our conversation because in the movie, if you don't look at it on a deeper level, you may miss the point. But in all honesty, it's a documentary and not a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But in the movie, what you see is these different archetypes that are being cloned, specifically in the Africans and American
Communities.
Mm-hmm. And these specific archetypes that they're choosing to clone aren't Malcolm X, not a Marcus Garvey, or nobody like that.
Mm-hmm.
There is a pimp, it's a drug dealer, and it's a prostitute. And these are the clones that they're cloning. And these archetypes are doing their bidding to keep the community in a lower state of vibration. And not only is that, but you see in the documentary that they're choosing to use food as a method of keeping them in a low vibrational state, so that you see this pimp, drug dealer, and prostitute who are now becoming conscious about what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
And as they're trying to unravel this problem, they sit down with some food, have some chicken, become unconscious, start laughing, and they almost forget about what they're needing to do.
Right.
In the movie, on one level, it upset me at one point. On one level, it's like, this is a great documentary. I hope that my people see this and they can see how we can stop being these archetypes because we're serving the same system that's creating the boundaries to our unlimited potential.
Mm-hmm.
And then on one level, it's like, well, this is also part of the prophecy because the devil has to tell you the truth to tell you a lie.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to almost tell you, like, this is what we're doing.
Right.
In order to do it. And so what would you say is a really, really good way for us to start breaking those archetypes? Because it's not just the archetypes that they showed in the documentary, but the archetype of being difficult in relationships, the archetype of being okay with not reaching our full potential, the archetype of I need to have physical things that validate me, all of these things. What's an approach to escape these archetypes that are keeping us bound from our unlimited potential?
Well, realizing the divinity of being, that we each are intelligences of existence.
Yeah.
But that's all there is. Everything is intelligent. Now, when you look at your life, how much do you do that is just completely detrimental to yourself?
Yeah.
We cannot be a detriment to ourselves and survive it.
Yeah.
And that's what we must know.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter how much money you have. You understand? This whole our success by virtue of how well we do, where we live, the cars that we drive, and nothing's wrong with it.
Yeah.
The issue is that we have to be able to get off the planet without having died.
Yeah.
So in order to do that, You have to reprogram towards conscious immortality.
Yeah.
All right. Because most people, even those ones who got the college degrees, and this is where my concern is, that as man, you are the progenitor of lineages of people. It don't happen without you.
Yeah.
You've been poisoned all of your life.
Yep.
And you feel as though it's your right to poison yourself.
Yep.
This is how you cope. This is how you respond to the disparities. This is how you respond to what y'all calling the white supremacy. I said there is no such thing as white supremacy. What we're seeing is idiocy and stupidity and insecurity on crack and steroids.
It's crazy how we all hear from one source, whatever you believe in. Esoteric knowledge, exoteric knowledge, religion, spirituality, whatever. We all hear from one source. That one source is have an experience in many different forms. You, me, should cut off on me. The birds, the bees, the trees, the insects, the sun, everything that's natural. And we all like a stranger to each other now. Not now. Yeah, now. Now that we're super disconnected from self. We all act like strangers now. That brother might walk past me, that sister, that other being, that other race, that other animal might walk past me hating or scared or whatever. But we all come from the same source. And not even familiar with the source of others that, hey, when I bump into you, I'm just bumping into me. I'm just having a different experience right there. Through that person, through that tree, through that animal, through that atom, that cell. Anything that got life, that is natural, they got a piece of that source within them. That's just me having a different experience. Through you, them, whatever. Squirrel chasing a nut, nigga trying to get a nut. What's that? That's just you. That's just me and you. But from one, just a different experience. Shit crazy. Yup. I don't know where I was going on that last convo at the end of it. But I forgot the last thing I said, but I thought I had put the mic down. They told me to pick it back up one more time. Got that joint out. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. Something else that came up. They all come from that one source, having different experiences, but not even familiar with each other. Well, you might physically don't know, but when you tap in, you know. Because y'all match the same frequency, same energy. That's where your soul tribe comes from. Your brother, your sisters, people who wasn't originally born within your physical family here. But your soul tribe from somewhere further than this. That's how you connect in with your life family. Frequency. It got nothing to do with the blood. The blood and all that is the physical. But it is a library full of information too, though. That's another channel, frequency, you gotta learn how to tap into. That's why we can transmute. I do remember speaking about that in part 1. But we can transmute it all. That's it, I'm out.
Why do white people pay so much attention to black people if they don't like them? You would think if you didn't like something, why would you be paying attention to it? I don't pay attention to things I don't like.
What's the answer?
The answer is the liar knows what lie he told. You see what I'm saying? So even if I made it deceitful and I made you think that the answer's over here, but the answer is really over here, I'm still gonna be looking over here. Me, the one that tricked, because I know this is the right answer. Black people have lost their identity, but our oppressors have not lost our identity. That's just why they chopped those noses off of the Pharaoh and the Sphinx in Egypt in the first place, is because without this nose, we can tell you this is whoever it is. But with that nigga nose, it can only be niggas. Why would somebody vandalize a whole face and only vandalize one part? Nobody wanted to knock an eye off or take an ear off or no chins missing. Nope, just the nose.
So let's get aggressive about wanting and desiring and doing that which will facilitate our cleansing in respecting, reverencing, honoring, appreciating, and valuing the gift of life.
Cleansing of the false programming.
And the cleansing of the blood, because the bottom line is you clean that blood up, you're going to be thinking differently.
You're going to be thinking
You understand? So
feeling different.
right. So a lot of people are doing the research, and we've got all of the scholars have given their contributions and whatnot. So we think we got to read all of these books. And I'm saying, the intelligence of existence does not need a book to communicate with you. I don't care what book it is.
Yeah.
You do not have to have a book. You do have to have care.
Yeah.
You do have to respect and reverence and appreciate and honor being. That's where we are.
Yeah.
But coming to a point and place where you realize that when food is a tool of oppression, and then the weapons of mass destruction are the tobacco, the Black and Milds, the blunts, the wacky weed, all of this stuff destroying the integrity of your lungs, microdosing with any of the other things. And I'm saying, I don't care what island the plant has come from, where in Central or South America it's coming from, you've been fed with all kinds of garbage. So you're taking it, whether it's the ayahuasca, whether it's the frog venom, whatever y'all doing, your body is not even clean enough.
Yeah.
So that you can have the fullness of that consciousness expansion.
Which is why a lot of people who have ayahuasca and other plant medicines have a bad experience.
Because they're right, the body is full of garbage, and it's like there's no shortcut.
3 natural supplements you should take every day for your best health. First, sea moss. It contains 92 of the 102 minerals which boosts energy and immunity. Next, black seed oil, highly potent with countless benefits. Last, burdock root. Dr. Sebi said burdock root would purify the blood and clear the body of toxins. This right here blends all 3 of these wonderful herbs in their purest form, along with ashwagandha to help reduce stress and aids in a slimmer waist. Order now by visiting our TikTok shop below. 3 natural...
And not move in one direction that excludes balance. And so what would you say the difference is? Because since we're talking about this on a spiritual level, what would you say the difference is between spirituality and religion?
Religion is a binding. It's to bind. It's to cut us off.
And what exactly is it cutting?
It's cutting. Religion as it has been implemented has been the number one tool of divisiveness.
Yeah.
right? It's a tool of divisiveness. It is not a necessity. The trees don't have a religion. The birds, the bees, we do not need religion. Religion is neither here nor there. It's a man-made thing.
Yes.
Okay? Right now, it's more trouble than it's worth in terms of adhering to a religion that has authorized you to be out of alignment with the laws that govern your being.
Yeah.
Spirituality is just the practice of being. Spirituality is not the end-all, do-all when you are not in light. Everyone is a spirit. The cats have a spirit, the dogs have, everything has spirit. So the practice of being, when you have been filled with toxicity, now we're having to qualify it in the sense that we're in this meeting realm upon the planet where there are those spirits that are in bodies and there are those spirits that have been disembodied.
Yeah.
Many are not able to see the disembodied spirits. Those spirits are still spirits.
Indeed.
All right. Now, and they're still practicing the spirituality, but they're disembodied. So what do? They try to influence those who are in bodies to move this way or that way or the other way. When people say, oh, well, spirit told me, and I'm looking at them and I'm trying to figure out, well, what spirits are you talking about?
Exactly.
How have you tapped in? Where are you tapped in? Now, I've sat with many, many gifted mediums and whatnot who have been trying to turn those gifts off because they were filled with meat, dairy, eggs, chicken, and fish, and garbage, so that they can't tap into the refined or the sublime or the exalted realms to be under the auspices and cultivation of exalted spirits. So spirituality right now is a buzzword. It is not sufficient for really or reorienting us as being intelligences of existence,
Gotcha.
because we've come from nothing but that.
Yeah.
We're immersed in nothing but that. But then there is the way that it works as light.
Yeah.
The light,
That can't be packaged into a word.
the light is the only sovereignty possible, because the divisiveness, being able to see through, that real eye being activated, the actualization of this is a necessity. It's a necessity. But realizing the divinity of existence and everything is divine.
Yeah.
We're immersed in it. But being the progression of your lineage and ensuring the progression of your lineages is what we must do to be in a place where we are not participating with the genocide.
Absolutely.